What's up, guys? It's me, Chris, here to do my prediction for the big Manny Pacquiao versus Joshua Clottey fight. If I have time at the end, I'll go over the undercard bouts real quick, just a couple of them. But let's get started. I watched the HBO countdown show for this last night. Another great piece by HBO. Not that I would expect anything less. Although I do actually enjoy Fight Camp 360 on Showtime better than HBO 24/7. For the most part, when it comes to countdown shows and building up fights, HBO is one of the best, if not the best in the business, in my opinion. So, we got to look at, with Manny Pacquiao, you pretty much know everything by this point. Nothing new revealed on his side, but Joshua Clottey got to see a little bit more about his family and his home, and even where he lives now. They were showing some little ass apartment. He lives in New York. Real small apartment, especially for a guy that's, been a champ. So, but anyways, on to the fight itself. For Manny Pacquiao's WBO welterweight title, Manny Pacquiao, record 50 wins, 3 losses, 2 defeats, stands at 5'6.5" with a 67-inch reach. He's coming off the 12th round TKO over Miguel Cotto, fight where he close given back and forth the first 4 or 5 rounds, but after that it was all Manny Pacquiao. Joshua Clottey, record 35 wins, 3 defeats, stands at 5'8" with a 70-inch reach, coming off the split decision loss to Miguel Cotto, go figure. Another close fight. Could have went either way. I've heard people argue for Joshua Clottey should have won that fight. Man, I've watched that fight a few times, and it's close. I could have made a case for either guy. I could make a case for a draw. Ultimately, I thought Cotto deserved it, but if someone thinks Clottey won the fight, I'm not going to argue with him too much over it. Before that, though, Josh had the big win over Zab Judah, which, well, it was probably the biggest win of his career, regardless of what you think of Zab Judah at this point. And, that fight, you can watch it on HBO On Demand right now. It's a good fight to watch because you can see how Joshua Clottey deals with a fast fighter, which is, Manny Pacquiao is probably going to be the fastest fighter who's ever fought, aside from Zab Judah. So you kind of get glimpses, not to say that Zab Judah and Manny Pacquiao are the same fighter at all by any means, but you get a glimpse of how Josh is going to handle or deal with the speed factor, which he's definitely going to be at a disadvantage here. As for this fight, obviously Joshua Clottey's got the huge size and strength advantage. That goes without saying. Manny Pacquiao, speed advantage. Manny's just been on a roll, man. He steamed over Cotto, steamrolled Ricky Hatton, destroyed Oscar De La Hoya. He's just been tearing through everybody, I know people are disappointed that this Floyd Mayweather fight didn't happen because of the whole not wanting to test thing. I'm not even going to get into that. I don't really care because it's just, a bunch of arguing back and forth. I just want to talk about the fight that's here and now, which is this fight. So, either way, I know Pacquiao, the one thing I don't understand is he made Cotto go down to like 144, 145, but he's going to fight Clottey at 147. I guess it's good that he is actually fighting at the weight, but I feel bad for Cotto that he had to train those extra few pounds and Joshua Clottey doesn't. Not that I would want Clottey too, I think Clottey should be able to fight at this weight because if he tried to lose any more weight, he'd probably kill the guy. But night of the fight, Clottey's going to be a lot bigger. Pacquiao, in all honesty, not to say I can't see Clottey winning this fight. Every fighter has a chance going into a fight for the most part. But I just don't see too many ways he can win this fight. He's not going to outbox Manny Pacquiao. He's not going to be more active. Joshua Clottey is not very active as a fighter. He doesn't throw a lot of punches. Not to say he's conservative. On offense, he throws a lot. But on defense, he just shells up, high guard, takes what you have to offer, then fires back. Usually fires back with a straight right hand. Got a really good lead right hand. That's a really good punch. It's one of his best. Something he's going to have to use to great effect here from a distance because he's got the reach advantage over Manny Pacquiao. The question is, will he be able to hit Manny with it? He marked up Zab Judah pretty good with that lead right. Early on in that fight, Judah was getting the better of Clottey with the speed, with the movement, definitely throwing a lot of flurries. But Judah, he's a bit of a front runner. No disrespect to Zab Judah. He's a fighter I always like to watch, entertaining as hell. But if things aren't going his way, he kind of folds after a while, even when things are going his way. But I'm just saying, for example, the Costa Tszyu fight, Floyd Mayweather fight, Carlos Baldomir fight, Joshua Clottey fight. There's a pattern there. It's not a mistake. It's not an accident. There's a pattern there with Zab Judah's history. But he was giving Joshua Clottey problems. Clottey took over that fight midway through, ended up winning ultimately. But I'm just saying, Manny Pacquiao just needs to move, box circles around the guy, dart in and out. Just what he's been doing with all of his opponents. The thing is with Joshua Clottey, the one advantage he has, like I said, size and strength. But guess what? That's what everyone was saying about Oscar De La Hoya. Now, granted, Clottey and De La Hoya are at different parts of their career at the moment, or at the moment that they fought Manny Pacquiao, but the only real big advantage that Clottey has is size and strength. He's going to be a lot bigger come fight night, but he's also going to be a lot slower. You know, people haven't talked about that. Sure, he might be up to 160, maybe even heavier, but that's just going to slow him down even more. Now, once Manny Pacquiao stops going to work, once he does his flurries, he doesn't just stand there. He's not going to stand there and just trade, you know. Or he's not going to stand there and wait for Josh to hit him. He's going to move in and move out like he always does. He's going to keep moving around the ring. Doesn't want to get caught in too many clinches inside because Joshua Clottey can use his strength to work him over. Clottey's got a good uppercut, but I don't think he's going to be able to catch Manny with that too often, you know, or too flush. Manny's just movements are very erratic. They're precise to him, but they're very erratic to prepare for. It's not easy to prepare for a guy who's all over the ring and as quick as fast-paced as he is. You know, what can Clottey do to win? Try to just, you know, cut the ring off. Try to put Manny Pacquiao's back against the ropes. Not going to be easy. If you watch any of Manny's recent fights, Freddie Roach always tells him, when your back's against the ropes, move out of there. He did it in the De La Hoya fight, did it in the Cotto fight. And except for when Manny Pacquiao decided to go toe-to-toe with Cotto, he did it effectively. Once he feels his back on the ropes, he gets out of there. And of course, he's fast enough to get away from Joshua Clottey. Shouldn't even be a problem. Josh's going to try to walk him down, but I just don't think he's going to be able to unless it's a really small ring, which we know it's not going to be a small ring. Come on. I don't know. Clottey, like I said, he can use that straight right from a distance. That'll probably be his most effective punch. I could see him, you know, bopping Pacquiao's head around like Marquez did in their first fight, but I just don't think he's going to have enough to do it. He can go to the body. Clottey's a good body puncher. Very good body puncher. And Manny Pacquiao has been stopped with the body, even though that was years ago. But Clottey, I think Pacquiao's prepared for that. To go to a man's body, you're going to have to be close. You're going to have to be able to stay in there in the trenches with him. Like I said, I don't think Manny Pacquiao is going to stay there for very long. Why would he? That's the only spot where he'd get a disadvantage is in close. So why would he stay there if he didn't need to? Which he doesn't need to in this fight. So, on all honesty, and I don't think Joshua Clottey is going to be stopped. I don't think that this fight's going to go. I do think this fight's going to go to distance. I've heard people say, including Freddie Roach, they think Manny Pacquiao is going to stop him. I don't. Joshua Clottey, I do have questions about his state. You know, some of the things he did in the Margarito fight, when he hurt his hands, he kind of folded mentally as well as physically. Same with the Cotto fight, you know, where he got thrown down. It looked like he didn't want to continue at first, and then late in the fight where he went down again, making complaints. So it kind of makes me wonder, even though he's come from a really tough background, it makes me question how he's going to handle diversity, you know. But I don't think he's going to break mentally. I do think that he can handle it. And I don't think that Pacquiao's going to knock him out. Clottey took a ton of punches from Margarito. He's a bigger, stronger guy than Manny Pacquiao. He took a lot of good, solid punches from Zab Judah, who is, I think, at least as powerful of a puncher as Manny Pacquiao. I may be wrong on that, but that's just my opinion. So I don't think he's going to stop him, but I do think he's just going to overwhelm him and just, you know, outwork him and out-hustle him to a 12-round decision. I think it's going to be pretty one-sided for the most part. Clottey may have his spots here and there, but I just don't see too many spots. I don't see him winning more than... I don't think Joshua Clottey's going to win more than 3 rounds, in all honesty, at that. So I think Manny Pacquiao is going to cruise to a pretty easy decision. I think he's going to look sensational. I think he's just going to look like he's in another gear. I think he's going to look like he's in 5th and Clottey's in 3rd or 4th gear. No disrespect to Joshua Clottey, though. I've had a chance to speak with him on the radio show before. Really nice guy. Both are really nice guys, you know. Glad the fight's happening. Looking forward to it, especially with the environment. The fact it's going to be in that new Dallas Cowboys Stadium. Should be a pretty raucous crowd. I don't know if I'm going to see the fight pay-per-view. You know, I'm not going to order this. I got a lot of other stuff to order and just a lot of other bills and stuff lately, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to see the fight live. If not, I'll definitely watch it on HBO the next weekend, but really looking forward to the fight. I see Manny Pacquiao winning by unanimous decision just by being the more active fighter as usual and just landing the harder shots and just controlling the pace. Ring generalship, that's what it's all about. Manny Pacquiao is going to be all over Joshua Clottey. Going to be swarming him. Don't think he's going to stop him, but I do think he's going to win an impressive unanimous decision. And, you know, hopefully he gets the winner of Shane Mosley versus Floyd Mayweather, because whoever wins that fight is definitely going to be the fight Manny Pacquiao fans want to see him against. At least I would hope so. That's the fight I want to see him against if he doesn't win that seat in the Congress. Real quick on the undercard, Humberto Soto versus David Diaz for a vacant 135-pound title. Why is this for a vacant title? I don't know. Edwin Valero is the champion in that division. It's not like he's not fighting. Soto and Diaz aren't even ranked that high in the division, so I don't understand what's going on there. But either way, I see Humberto Soto win this fight. Diaz is coming off a win over, what's his name? I don't remember his name. I do remember his name, but I just don't remember off the top of my head. But I just think that Soto is, I think Diaz, that Pacquiao fight took something out of him. I think Soto is just a little bit better. Should be a good old school Mexican slugfest, but I see Soto winning this fight by unanimous decision, if not late stoppage. Also on the undercard, Alfonso Gomez versus Jose Luis Castillo. I got Gomez winning this fight. Castillo's well past his prime. In his prime, he's probably a better fighter than Gomez, but first off, the fight's at welterweight, so that favors Gomez. I think this fight's reminiscent of Gomez's fight against Arturo Gatti, where it was Gotti's last fight. You know, I actually asked Alfonso about that on the radio show recently. You can go back and check that out if you want. And, he kind of agreed. Actually, Gomez gave a really good interview. You might want to go back and check that out if you're at all interested in, if you're a fan of his. Even if not, still a good interview in my opinion. But I see Gomez just outwork Castillo. I think Castillo can survive. Gomez isn't exactly a big puncher, but I think he's more closer to his prime than Castillo is. I don't think Jose Luis Castillo should even be fighting at this point. He did have something that showed up on a brain scan not too long back, and I just think he should retire. I do think Gomez is going to beat him by unanimous decision. Should be a pretty exciting fight in spurts, but I think Gomez is going to win this by unanimous decision. I'll maybe be back next Sunday to talk about my thoughts afterwards if I see the fight. If not, I will after when I finally get a chance to see it. But looking forward to it either way. Be sure and check out the websites at willbebloodfightshow.com, leaveitinthe.ring.com, my Twitter if you're interested. Links to information part as always. If you check the archives of the radio show, we did a breakdown of the Pacquiao-Clottey fight roundtable with boxing writers like Doug Fisher, Gabriel Montoya, and others. So be sure and check that out. Anyways, that's it for now. Until next time,